That's right, folks. We're here for Team 3D versus Team 3D. Yes, they normally play together. In fact, we found out 2 weeks ago they were playing in a 4-on-4 tournament. So this is a little change of pace for them. They haven't had a lot of time to practice. In fact, the Ogre brothers have been moving to college. So we'll see how that affects their gameplay today. We do hear a lot of confidence from both of these teams that they will take the championship to represent Team USA. As we have the match underway, looking to see who is going to draw first blood. Now, the way this match works out, we are on a map called Lockout. First team to get to 50 scores on the board will win the game. Of course, if 20 minutes elapse before we reach 50 points, this game will be ended at the 20-minute mark. First blood is drawn by Walsh for Team 3D, representing the Alley, and we'll keep an eye on him to see if he can keep up this momentum. Of course, that is just one frag out of a possible 50. He's got a long way to go. And we're just keeping an eye on these guys. They do spawn in with the battle rifle and a couple of grenades just to make sure that they have something to work with. Usually going to start out with those frag grenades. These guys are actually taking their time. This map is a sniper map a lot of the time. So you want to get that sniper rifle, zoom in on your opponent across the map and do as much damage as you possibly can. Still looking for one of these players or one of these teams to actually take more of a lead over another. And these guys, they're zooming in on their sniper rifles. They actually have those battle rifles still. Neither player that we're watching right now has managed to pick up something better, at least not something they're switching to right now. They want to run with those battle rifles so they can introduce some burst fire and do some damage. Here comes a quick battle. We've got one of the players on the run. That is going to be... I don't have my paper. I should probably find that out. So that is going to be one of the players for the Alley over on the right side of our screens. We do have Danford falling prey to one of the Ogre brothers, and this is now a 3-1 game in front of those twin brothers. Watching for the next play to come in. These guys taking it nice and slow. I expect that we will see some action very soon. 2-on-2, you're going to try to stick with your teammate as much as possible. Try to flank from time to time, especially on these rampways. If you have one player up top, you flank down with another player going a little bit lower. And sure enough, that's what they're planning to do here. We have, oh, that's a fantastic weapon from the Ogres right now as we see them lining up with that plasma pistol, trying to get the shot off, not going to be able to get it off in time. Slapped down, another score going out to the Ogres. Watching as the overall score is 5-1. Make that now 5-2 as Walsh able to get an assassination in there, bashing with the end of his rifle to get a score on the board. But that's not going to slow down the Ogre brothers at all as they return fire. 1-2 down, making this a 7-3 game now as we see that score continuing to rise. Remember, we're looking for the first to 50 points or the first to the highest score in 20 minutes. Now we have 17 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this first map on Lockout. We have got that plasma pistol up and running. You can hear it buzzing. He's ready to do something with it, waiting for someone to come through. He's actually camping right now, just waiting for the opportunity, looking all around this map to see if he can spot his opposition. Can he get the shot off while it is primed? Well, he's going to have to wait a little bit longer for that, as we have a boost going on for these teammates as they're making the most of this map, taking advantage of a few of the back hallways, and they're not going to do much with that, in fact, because they can't come across any of their opposition. We still have that plasma pistol primed and ready as one of these players, this is from the Alley, is actually running around ready for the action, throws out the ball, is not able to connect with his opposition, and once again he's going to prime that pistol for the next battle. The pistol is glowing, waiting for the action to come through, and we're still watching for some more damage to come out from these guys. Okay. All right, so we've got the Ogres up here. He's been the one that's been using that plasma pistol and not having much luck with it yet. So we've got the Alley up on the right side of your stage, and it is currently an 8-4 game. These guys keeping it pretty slow in the first minutes. Remember, they've got to get to 50 frags before time runs out. Now we're watching to see who's going to get the next frag, as we do have a rifle, a sniper rifle coming into play by the Alley. They're going to hold that one in their back pocket and wait for the prime moment to use it. First, for now, they're going to stick with that battle rifle, zoom in and look for some damage. We do have that sniper rifle out and primed, looking across the map, and before he can zoom in, he takes some fire, and he's going to have to back off and wait for a little more protection from his teammate. These guys holding back together just a little bit longer for the alley. They want to get some scores in there, but unfortunately, Walsh taken out of play by one of the Ogre brothers. You can hear that sound, that beeping sound. That means that a player is near death. One more shot, maybe two, will finish them off. So that is your note of danger. You want to run for it. You don't want to stay in the line of fire. You got to take advantage of the map, hide behind a wall, and wait for your shield to respawn in. All right, so we've got Tom representing the Ogres over on the left-hand side. And, of course, over on the right-hand side, it is the alley. Now we're waiting for another bit of action. You can see this is now a 10-6 game, a fifth of a way to victory with 14 minutes and 35 seconds left to go here on Lockout. Another assassination, this time with Walsh, managing to do some damage to Dan on the Ogre team. We've got that plasma pistol out. Love that weapon. You can do some really great things with your combinations. You prime up your pistol, throw out the shot, and follow it out with some burst fire from your battle rifle, and that can spell devastation for your opposition. Sure enough, there we have Tom throwing out that plasma combo, trying to land one in on Danford, and he is going to succeed. He does get a score on the board. It is now 13-6. We see double the score going out for the Ogre brothers as they have a nice start here. But remember, out of the maps to be played today, this is their favorite one. So you should expect to see them playing more solidly on this. Of course, our next map may favor the opposition as the alley prefers to play on that map. Watching for a little bit more damage to come out here. 14-9. It's a 5-point spread, something that can be made up easily if the alley is prepared for it. They're going to really have to work on their teamwork, communicate, do some flank moves as we have the plasma pistol out for just a moment, primed and ready to go. The alley ready to make use of that. But he's going to drop it. There we go. The plasma pistol comes out doing heavy damage to the Ogres. Tries to follow it up with a frag grenade, and he is not going to connect with that one and get another score on the board. He's going to have to back off. There he throws out another nice plasma pistol shot and follows that up. Does get the score that time. Took him about 3 tries to do it, but he is successful, and he's going to try to keep that going for him as he switches back to his battle rifle and waits for his next opportunity. He has to wait for his shield to repower before he can get back into a battle, but he has managed to stick a plasma grenade to Ogre 1 as he drops into the abyss. That is going to be one of the challenges on Lockout that we don't see on a lot of the other maps. It is a space map. They're up in air right now, and they have to make their way across these walkways without being knocked off the ledges into the abyss. When they fall into the abyss, there's no saving you. You're going to lose a point either way. Overall score is 17-12 in favor of the Ogres with 12 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. This is our first map in a best-of-3 series, and we're waiting to see who is going to come out on top and represent Team USA. The Ogres were feeling very confident before this match that it would be them. But I don't know. The alley is really staying with these guys, keeping it a 6-point spread, 18-12 overall. We've already had 8 minutes go by in this match, and I do think that we're dealing with a much slower game than one might expect on Halo 2. I talked to the Ogre brothers beforehand, and they both said that they felt that this would be a 50-point game, not a 20-minute game, that they would hit 50 points before time ran out. So far, it's not looking that way. They're not on track to hit 50 points before 20 minutes is up. As we have some battle rifle fire coming out from the alley, trying to make a connection across the map with Ogre and gain another point. Try to take away some of this spread. We haven't seen a score for the past couple of minutes, and we are looking for a little more action as we have the shotgun now in the hands of the alley, waiting for their opportunity to make use of that, running around the lower levels of this map in search of prey. Of course, for the Ogres, we have that sniper rifle out and ready for use. A couple of zooms coming in so far. No one from the alley walking into that viewfinder to get picked off by that fire. Watching to see what the Ogres are going to do with that sniper rifle as they're on the mid-levels. Overall score 18-12. We are yet to see a score, but we have some frag grenades heading into one of the towers. We're waiting to see if that's actually going to hit anyone. No, it will not. So still waiting for some sort of action. These guys have decided to play more of a defensive game. Let's not run after each other. Let's hide off in there. There we go. Ogre 1. That's going to be Dan, able to come through and finally break this standoff, making this a 19-12 game with 10.5 minutes left to go on this first map. We do have the sniper rifle in the hands of the Ogre team, but not for long as Danford comes through with a nice shot, gets another score on the board. These guys are trading frags 1 for 1 and trying to make sure that this remains a 6-point game. As, oh, there we go. Ogre 2, that's going to be Tom, knocking Danford down into the abyss, taking away one of his points, and making this actually a 21-13 game overall. We're watching for the next score. We do have that sniper rifle out once again in Tom's hands. What is he going to do with it? Well, he's going to put that away for now. Run around with that battle rifle and look for that burst fire. As, of course, we do have Danford running around on this screen here, throwing out his grenades. He's now exhausted all the grenades in his arsenal, but he is protected by his teammate as well. They find Tom across the map. They're going to be double teaming, but not for long. Look at that nice beatdown by Dan from Team Ogre, making this 23-14 with 9 minutes and 25 seconds left. Watching over here for Danford as he spawns in with that battle rifle. He's joined by his teammates as they wait for the prime opportunity. They're set up for a crossfire situation, listening carefully to see where their opposition is. Sure enough, they have found Dan. Heavy fire, but they weren't looking while Tom rotated around the backside and did a little surprise ninja maneuver, getting another score on the board, 24-14. We saw a 6-frag spread for quite a while there, but now it's a matter of 10 points to make up. 24-14 overall. I do think we're going to see a 20-minute match here. No 50-frag victory for Team Ogre, but this is not over yet. The Alley can bring things back together if they just keep their eyes on the ball and continue to work together. All right, so we are looking now at a 26-14 score. Taking a look at Danford, who has his battle rifle out. He's waiting behind the wall as a plasma grenade does a little damage to him, but not a lot because he was far enough away from it to just mostly see it and back off a little bit, knowing where his opponent is. Now, of course, in that, he's going to wait for just a little bit longer, gets surprised a little bit, has to make a run for it as his shield is now warning him death is imminent if you don't hide behind that wall. And Danford has regained his shield for a little bit longer. He's using that battle rifle to snipe in across the map into one of the other towers to see if anyone from Team Ogre will come out to face him. So far, no sign of it. But of course, we have Tom over here with the plasma pistol trying to get a shot in. Instead, while he has that plasma pistol primed, he will find himself dead, unable to use it as the shot comes out of nowhere. He wasn't prepared for that one. It is now 30-15, however. Double the score. Ogres are putting the hurt down on the Alley. These guys may be teammates in their day-to-day play, but today they are opponents, and Ogres are not giving an inch to their friends. They're going to go ahead and take this one all the way. Still a 30-15 score, 7 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in this first map. As I've said before, it is a best-of-3 series, so whoever wins the first map is not guaranteed to represent Team USA. However, there's no turning back at this point, no second chances. Whoever wins this series will be the representatives. There is no double elimination here. It's all about these 2 to 3 matches we will see. Things have slowed down just a little bit as we're waiting for the next score, as we have Danford with that plasma pistol primed and ready in search of someone to unleash that ball of fury on. Unfortunately, no one comes into his sight before he is going to go ahead and switch weapons and reload that battle rifle. Back to the plasma pistol. It's primed. He's still in search. Tosses out a ball. It's going to miss his opposition. He's going to prime up with another one, waiting. He knows now where his opponent is, and he's going to just wait for it. Prepare for battle and see who will come running. Once again, switching to the battle rifle, as we also have Tom with the battle rifle, throwing in the plasma grenade as Danford and Tom get into a one-on-one, and there's the beatdown by Danford, coming out successful in that battle, getting another score on the board. But at the exact same time, Dan able to come in with another frag on the board, 31-16 overall. We're heading into the final 6 minutes of play. Tom having a lot of fun with that plasma pistol. However, it hasn't been solid for them. There you go, the energy sword coming into play. Danford ripping his opponents to shreds, coming in with a nice little move there, unexpected by Tom. He wasn't prepared for it, got just skewered by that energy sword. 31-18. The chances of making up this deficit are starting to slip away from the Alley. They may have to give up Lockout and look to their next map to come back and win this one. But for now, let's focus on Lockout as we have that 31-18 score. We have Danford with the plasma or the battle rifle ready to go. We have Tom with the battle rifle as well, trying to get some burst fire in on each other, tossing the plasma grenades back and forth. Danford looking for a score here. Grenade after grenade goes into that inside tower, that main tower, trying to do some damage, but Tom comes out on top, gaining yet another frag on the board. The overall score, 17 frags for Dan, 16 for Tom. They said before that they were pretty even when it comes to their skills, and they were right. On the other side, of course, we have Dave coming through with 9, and of course his teammate Ryan coming through with 9 as well. That's going to be Walsh and Danford. So they're even as well. These guys are actually sharing the load pretty well, and that's a good thing to see in team play as we're dealing with 2-on-2. Overall, 34-19. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left to go. We've got Danford respawning into this game with his battle rifle in hand. Going to do a quick zoom in search of his opponents, trying to find out where Tom and Dan are hiding. Here comes one of them around the corner. They're going to nade back and forth, trying to do some damage. You can see the screen shaking as Danford undergoes heavy fire. Where is his teammate protect him? Well, his teammate may be around the corner, but first we're going to have a beatdown shared between both of these players to get another score each. 38-22. Less than 4 minutes to go. This is Lockout, a great map connected by corridors, 3 towers that you can fight from. One tower called the Sniper Tower, where you can find that sniper rifle that I believe we now see in the hands of Danford. He is currently holding that battle rifle, so we'll have to wait and see if he switches to that very soon. All right, so 38-24. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Right now, it's becoming more of a matter for the Alley of keeping their heads in the game and trying to find ways to improve their shots, communicate well with each other, and prepare for the next map they'll be playing on. As we have Tom wielding that energy sword to shred his opposition and get another score on the board. 39-24 is the overall score. There's some battle rifle zoom going towards the opposite tower. Here comes a plasma pistol ball right towards Tom, and he's going to dodge behind the wall. Danford finds him as well. These guys exchanging fire all the way across the level. The wide open spaces giving them plenty of room to zoom in and try to snipe. Danford sporting that rifle, zooming in. He sees an opposition, but he zooms out just as he's about to throw the shot out. Wasn't expecting to see either player from the OGRES for some reason. He's going to be spotting Dan across the board. And there we go. He's zoomed in. Danford looking for his teammate Dan, or his opposition Dan, looking to do some damage. Sees him still on the board. He sees his teammate as well at one of the other towers. So they're going to try to work together to do a flank maneuver on Team Ogre. They find him in the tower. They're throwing some damage out, but at the same time as Danford is worried about hurting the Ogres, he's also undertaking fire himself. You can see his shield reacting to the firefight coming his way. 41-26. Less than 2 minutes to go. We have Danford still holding on to that sniper rifle, zooming into one of the rooms there, waiting, trying to see if anyone's going to run across his way, kind of like a duck at one of those carnivals. Can he hit the shot as the duck goes by? So far, it's not looking good as Ogre 1 passes his peripheral vision. He tries to line up the shot, is not successful. Once again, lining up with Ogre 1, still not able to get the shot. Ogre 1 going to chase down Danford. Danford going to have to make a run for it, but he is going to get one nice little kill in there before he has to back off a little bit. Nicely played by Danford. However, the Ogre team ready to return fire. They group up and track him down and do the damage right back to him. 42-29. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. Ogre 1 killed mid-air by that battle rifle.
1 minute remaining
to claim the 30th frag of the game for the Alley. You hear that 1 minute warning, folks. Basically, the Ogres have to make 6 frags in the next 50 seconds if they want to beat the clock and hit that 50 frag mark before time runs out. Either way, they are primed to win this first map, but somehow, it's a matter of pride to get to say, hey, we made it to 50 frags before the time ran out. 35 seconds left to go. 46 to 30 is the score. Danford waiting to spawn back in with his battle rifle as we have Tom with that pistol. He's got it primed and ready to go. Looking for someone to throw the damage to. Going to switch back to his battle rifle to help out his teammate and his brother in this next battle as they have one of the alley trapped, knocking him off the edge. The wall, Walsh is chased off the side. And with 10 seconds left to go, 48 to 32. 2 frags until we hit that frag limit. Not going to happen, but the final score will be 48 to 32 in favor of Team Ogre, representing Team 3D. They're off to a fantastic start in this best of 3 series. Now you remember I told you before that the Ogres were feeling like that first map would be their success. They felt confident that Lockout would go in their favor. Our next map, however, is going to be Ivory Tower, which has been claimed by the Alley, Dave and Ryan, to be their better map. So maybe this is their chance to tie things up and force a third map to be played. We're going to find out very soon as we wait for the action to begin between these guys. They give each other a look there, and I think it's going to be a good one here, guys. Very different type of map that we're going to see in Ivory Tower. We will see something called the Overshield, which adds additional protection to the players. So we'll see how they use that Overshield. They have some lifts as well to deal with. And, of course, a new weapon, the rocket launcher. We'll be watching for that very soon. But for now, let's go to the game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the WCG 2005 U.S. National Finals, getting ready here on Ivory Tower to see if Ogre can have a repeat. Can they beat their opposition, the Alley, once again? Playing for Team Ogre and for the Alley are Team 3D teammates, got Ryan and Dave and Tom and, of course, Dan. Tom and Dan are identical twins, but their play is very different, however complementary. And we do have a 2-to-1 lead already in favor of the Ogres, Tom and Dan. Looking to see what Walsh and Danford are going to be able to pull out here. They do have a score on the board. Remember, this is their preferred map, so we'll see what they do with it as we have the battle rifle out, making his way across the map. Danford looking to do something with it. He does take some fire. He's going to switch to that plasma pistol, prime it up, and then switch back to the battle rifle to do a little bit of sniping action, making use of those grenades, tossing them across the map as he gets his pistol all fired up. He's unable to use it before he finds himself needing to spawn back into the game. It is 3-2 with 18 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Watching over here with the Ogres, we have Tom with that battle rifle, reloading his weapon, dropping down in search of his teammate, trying to offer some support. Now this is a much larger map that we're seeing here on Ivory Tower. A lot more options as far as flanking maneuvers, moving around, but remember, these guys really need to be focusing on making sure they get a hold of that Overshield. The Overshield offers a second level of protection they don't get from their normal shield. Also on the map, you'll find a couple of containers that you can blow up. They cause explosions and can do some pretty hefty damage if your opposition is standing next to them. There's the plasma rifle, the plasma pistol all fired up. Ogre 2, that's Tom. Gonna feel the sting of that one from Danford as Danford claims another frag on the board. It is 5-3 overall. 2 minutes having gone by, these guys playing a faster game than we saw in the last map, but not much. It could speed up for them as they get a little more comfortable with the map, get their heads inside this game. We saw Danford trying to make a way for that, or try to go for that lift, head over to that Overshield. Unable to do so, he's going to have to spawn back in and make another attempt. Danford has spotted his teammate across the map, trying to make sure that they communicate well and see if they can get some scores on the board. There comes the plasma pistol once again, primed up, the green glow, promising heavy damage if he can get that shot off while one of the opposition, the Ogres, are on the other side of that fire.
Killing spree.
All right, so we are looking at an 8-4 score. The Ogres seem to be holding true to their promise that they would win this one in 2 maps. That's right, folks. They were so confident. They said this will be a good game. Both Danford and Walsh are good players, but we will win this one in 2 maps. They're trying very hard here on Ivory Tower to expand that score as quickly as possible. Battle rifle bursts coming out from Danford, and as he reloads his weapon, Dan Ogre 1 comes through and lands a shot on him while his rifle is not ready for action. 10-5 the overall score. There's the plasma pistol priming up once again, this time in the hands of Tom. As he sees an opposition, throws out that plasma ball, unable to connect. He's going to come down and try to track him down, but while he's priming his pistol and headed up a lift, his teammate, his brother, finishes the job for him and makes this an 11-5 game. The sniper rifle now picked up, and just as Tom's about to make use of it, he is ninja'd from behind by Danford, coming through with some nice fire. Danford very happy to pick up that sniper rifle that was dropped by Tom. It's 11-6. It's a 5-frag spread. Not much of a spread so far, but we did see a similar situation on lockout. So this doesn't really tell us much about how this game will end up, other than the Ogres are feeling good about their lead for now. They want to keep expanding that lead as much as possible. Some of the weapons that you'll find here on Ivory Tower include that sniper rifle, a rocket launcher, of course the plasma pistol here, and a shotgun as well. Mostly we're seeing these guys utilizing things like their energy sword from time to time. There's some pretty cool moves that you can do with that energy sword. And of course with that sniper rifle, the battle rifle, the weapon that they spawn into, is pretty reliant for them. But, you know, they're making use of a lot of the weapons that are available to them. We're seeing some pretty good Halo 2 gameplay so far in this match. Going up the bounce pad, we've got one player coming through here with the plasma pistol primed up, going for a move. Which way will he go, and will he find someone to unleash that damage on? No, he will not. Switching back to his sniper rifle, still in search. As you hear the 15-minute warning, trying to get a melee bash in on, that's going to be Danford trying to get that. They actually exchange fire, managing to do damage to each other, and both of them out of that going to have to spawn back in. 14-8 the overall score. We have 14 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here. Still a lot of time for these guys to figure out their strategies. As 2-on-2 players, they're mostly going to want to keep track of where their teammate is and try to take advantage to either sticking together or flanking their opposition. And there's a nice flank move with that rocket launcher as Walsh feels the sting, the explosion, and finds himself starting over from the beginning in search of a new weapon. 15-9. You can see the intensity on these players' faces as the brothers work together, speaking to each other from time to time. Dude, I'm going to go over this way, okay? All right, let's go. So they're going to go ahead and share strategies as they go. They've got to think on their feet. They've got to be constantly communicating with where they're going to be heading, where they've seen an opposition. Remember, they both are watching different screens. So it's up to them to say, okay, my peripheral, I saw one of the other guys running by the screen. You go around this way, I'll come from the front, and we'll get ourselves another score on the board and potentially claim the win. 16-9, 13 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. We do have that sniper rifle in play by Tom as he's looking to see who's going to come his direction. He's peeking through doorways, through hallways, trying to do some damage, tossing out some grenades as well. He's waiting for his shield to come back in. In fact, he's using that over shield right now, offering him a little bit of protection, but not much as he gets beat down from behind. Walsh getting the shot in on Ogre 2, and that's going to make this a 5-frag game. 16-11 overall. Remember, this match is over if 20 minutes elapse or if 50 frags are hit. As we have Danford looking for something to use on this map. He does have that sniper rifle. Will he have an opportunity to use it with those 4 bullets waiting for use? His 5th one loaded up right now, ready for that trigger finger to just go off. 17-13, the closest we've seen these guys in a while, a 4-point spread. The Alley may be making their comeback right now, folks, here on Ivory Tower. Remember, they did say that that was their preferred map, and we're going to see those shots coming across the way as we have a sniper battle going on between Danford and Tom, throwing out some grenades as well. Tom trying to chase down Danford. Will he get the shot in? He's still looking for Danford to see if he can get the lineup on it, while Danford also taking a look for Tom to see where he's going to pop out from next. As Danford makes his move, however, he comes across Ogre 1. Dan waiting for him just around the corner, and that's going to spell his demise. 18-13 with 12 minutes and 5 seconds left to go on this second map. We're looking at a 1-0 series thus far in favor of Ogres, and they're hoping to hold on to that and claim the Team USA spot at the Grand Finals in Singapore this November. Here comes another battle, this time over the overshield. And sure enough, we get another shot in by, that's going to be Dan coming through with a shot as his teammate Tom primes up that plasma pistol, trying to guard their general area. Does throw a shot across the map here. Unable to connect with anyone, but he's going to prime up another plasma pistol and see if he can get the shot off. He's coming over this way, looking around a corner, hiding behind a wall. Coming up to another level and looking there, he's going to find his opposition. He switches weapons just as Danford comes in with that sniper rifle, and Danford able to make use of that brief moment of being wide open and gets the shot in on Tom. 20-14, 6 frags spread. The alley not giving up much here, guys. They're ready for this one, and they're going to try to make up some ground. Unfortunately, not going to happen if you get sniped across the map like Danford just did there. 21-14. We're approaching the halfway point in this second map on Ivory Tower. Danford has just spawned in. He's got his battle rifle ready to go in search of other weapons to support him. On the other side, of course, we have Tom. He's in search of his teammate, trying to make sure that they're both in the right position. Looking around to see where the alley is coming from next. Where is Danford and Walsh hiding? And there we go, a battle over the overshield. Obliteration with that rocket shot coming out from Tom. 22nd frag on the board. And there we have Dan trying to hide behind a wall. Danford trying to make up for lost time. But unfortunately, he gets flanked, caught in the crossfire. There is no escape for Danford. And he finds himself starting over once again. 23-14, the overall score. 10 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. Ogres holding on to their lead thus far. They've come within 4 frags, but they haven't. The alley has not been able to make up that difference. Has not been able to get any closer than that 4 points that separate the teams. There's a killing spree being called out for Ogre 1. That's going to be Dan for Team Ogre, able to kill enough guys in a row that he gets a little bit of a boost there. Way to go, man. Thumbs up. Tom, however, not having quite as much luck. We find him dying once again, but he is going to be running side by side with his teammate, and they're going to make their way around the map as a duo and try to get themselves in position for another nice flank maneuver on the alley. Looking at Danford switching over to that plasma pistol. He's ready, he's got the green glow going, sees his teammate, but he does not see the Ogres, and he's going to have to put that pistol away for now, switch to the battle rifle, and then switch back to that plasma pistol. Plasma pistol primed, put it away again. He's trying to see if he can hide in the normal places where he's basically watching to say, okay, I know they're going to come this way at some point in time. I'm going to watch for them. I'm going to have that plasma pistol ready. If they dare to come into my lane of fire, I'm going to unleash this mass fury on them and get myself a point. 24-19, the overall score, still in favor of Ogres. But the alley staying nice and close with them, trying to keep the scores tight and mount a comeback. 24-19, 8 minutes, 25 seconds left to go. We have Danford and Walsh working together, sticking together, trying to keep each other in the line of sight as the plasma pistol once again ready for Danford. He's going to switch to a grenade, toss him down a hallway, and see what kind of damage he can do at the other end of the hallway as we have Tom claiming a frag there. Joining up with his teammate, has the plasma pistol out. You can hear the beeping. One of the players is finding himself near death. Gonna have to wait for his shield to spawn back in. Right now, we can see that Danford does have that super shield, that overshield. Gonna give him a little extra protection, especially as he comes up head-to-head with Dan from the Ogres. Dan gonna have to run away from that, knowing that he does not have the advantage, waiting to fall back on Tom to give him some support. And as he does, Tom, unfortunately, or Dan actually going to find himself at the wrong end of the rifle coming from Walsh. It is now 27-20. Not much time left, 7.5 minutes. These guys staying nice and close. We can't appreciate the fact in the last round as one team approached 30, the other team had half of their score. This time staying close. There we go. Danford trying to get a bash down battle in there. Instead finds himself dead. In fact, both Danford and Tom died in that altercation. 28-21. 7-point spread. You got to know that Danford and Walsh are saying, we can do this one. We can bring this back and force this through a third map. They want to hold on as long as possible because win or lose, one of these teams, I mean, either way, one of these teams is going to represent Team 3D. But you got to know that both of these teams want that glory. They want to be going to Singapore. There's a nice pistol, plasma pistol coming out, followed by some rifle bursts. Another score on the board for Danford. 28-23, a 5-point game. Danford hoping to keep the momentum going, primes up another plasma pistol shot. Waiting to see who from OGRES is going to come through. There they go. They both had their plasma pistols out, throwing fire at each other. Danford couldn't stick around as he has to wait for his shield to spawn back in. And as he waits for that shield protection to come back, he finds, well, actually it's going to be Dan who finds him and finishes him off. 29-23. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. We're almost out of time here. Danford getting a beatdown coming out from Ogre 1. That's going to be Dan from Team Ogre. Gotta hate that beatdown. You will spawn back in with that battle rifle, however, giving him some good protection. And, of course, those grenades. It's nice if you run out of grenades to get another chance to have a few more grenades if you haven't picked them up around on the floors. Here comes another battle. Ogre 1 versus Danford. Danford able to get some nice battle rifle bursts in there, finishing off Ogre 1 and claiming another point. 31-24. Danford set on keeping these guys close together. But the Ogre's not making it easy for him. Danford switches over to that plasma pistol, lines up, waiting, throws out the shot across at Ogre 2, lands it, and gets another score on the board. He's going to get himself an overshield and that rocket launcher. Not going to do him much good as he's beat down by Ogre 1. Overall scores 19-14 for the Ogre brothers, giving them an overall score of 33.
5 minutes remaining.
There's the 5-minute warning, and we're going to see what happens in this last 5 minutes, as it seems that Team Ogre has managed to pull a little further into the lead. Perhaps confirming that they will retain that lead for the remainder of this match. There comes the battle rifle, some grenades coming out from Danford as well, and as he drops from the top levels to the bottom next to that overshield, he's going to be picked off on his way down, claiming another point for the Ogres. 34-27 overall, 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Some more battle coming out there, grenades being tossed up to the upper levels as we have Danford with that rifle, waiting to see where his opposition is, where he can line up and get a nice shot off there. So far, no one coming into this line of fire as we have a little bit of a pause in the action. Tom gonna pull out that sniper rifle, zoom in, and wait. Wait patiently. Can't wait for long, however, because you become a sitting duck, as we do have the overshield picked up, joined by a plasma pistol ready to be unleashed. Danford waiting to do something with that one. He does have that overshield protection. Now the overshield protection counts down. It starts to disappear. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to keep the overshield indefinitely. 35-27 an overall score. 8 points separate these two teams as Danford's overshield about to be taken away from him. Just a sliver left to protect him. Sniper rifle coming out from Tom as he's looking towards one of the lifts, trying to figure out which way these guys are going to come and trying to dish out some damage. Has the sniper rifle ready. His teammate, however, running by, teammate saying, "I'm being chased down, bash him!" And sure enough, an assassination coming out there. 37-27. Still going strong here as we see the Ogres with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. They're pretty close to claiming the Team USA victory, the spot in the grand finals, coming to you in November. Another grenade coming out from Danford as he's tossing up to the top levels, hoping to get a chance for that Ogre shield. Instead, he's going to come head-to-head with Ogre 2. Of course, that is going to be Tom. Ogre 2 able to get the score on the board. Danford once again hurting his teammate Walsh with 16 points. Danford sporting 12, giving them an overall score of 28. We're looking at a 40-28 score. In the last couple of minutes, we've seen some real momentum from the Ogres as they have started to really claim this victory here. They've got 10 frags to go before we hit that 50 frag mark. As you hear the killing spree coming out, it's important for the teams when they get those killing sprees. It means that they have killed multiple times in a row without dying themselves. Here comes Danford once again. He's got those battle rifle bursts going up towards the lift, trying to get a score. Going to run over some crates and make his way around the corner. He sees a rifle shot coming his way. He's going to be hopping around, tossing grenades out and hiding, making his way around the corner, making sure that he has some sort of protection. Doesn't want to be a sitting duck here as he primes up his plasma pistol. 1.5 minutes left to go, 42-30. That's the score we're looking at right now as the Ogres are 8 frags away from securing their victory, their overall win, and becoming the champions here at the U.S. National Final for WCG 2005. 43-30, 1 minute and about 5 seconds left to go. Danford sporting that battle rifle. And of course we have Tom with that plasma pistol primed up, the green glow, telling you that he's ready to throw that shot out. Instead of finding someone to throw it at, he finds his teammate, and he's going to go ahead and hold off on that one, switch back to his battle rifle, pick up the sniper rifle as we have the final 45 seconds of play. 43-30, our score right now. There's not much chance of the Alley bringing this one back, but they're going to play to the end like good sports do. That's it, guys. 30 seconds left to go. 43-31. You can hear that 30-second warning as Walsh trying to get another shot in on Ogre 1. There's a bit of energy sword damage coming out there. Some bashes going back and forth. Trying to get to that 50 frag mark just once in this battle. 45-32. 15 seconds left to go. We're waiting. Can anyone get one more shot? Here comes the sniper rifle out. The battle rifle as well. Not much fire coming out as these guys count down the final 5 seconds of play. And it is pretty safe to say that this one's going to go to Team Ogre as these guys have a final score of 45-33. All right, guys. It's been a fantastic matchup between the Ogres and the Alley. Thanks for watching the game, guys. Very well played by both of these teams. You can see these